I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Welcome to Why Are You Laughing? A history of comedy podcast. And today, I am pleased to introduce to you Charlie Sheen, the Tiger Blood Saga. It was honestly a wild time and the start of a lot of like online social media type drama. 2.5 Men is probably one of the most successful sitcoms of the 2000s. As it was a very standard sitcom. It didn't change anything, didn't revolutionize anything. So he does, Platoon and Major League and all these very successful movies. And then in the 90s, he was kind of down for a bit, but then made a comeback with Spin City when Michael J. Fox left. CBS has the idea of bringing these two kind of 80s stars together to play brothers, John Cryer and Charlie Sheen. And essentially Charlie is playing himself. And it was super successful. And Charlie Sheen was the highest paid actor on television. He was making $1.25 million an episode. And for the first few seasons of the show, by all accounts, he was sober, I guess. He was very with it. He was chatty on set and he would be friendly. And then there was kind of a stark change at a certain point. Right around the same time that the show debuted, he got married to Denise Richards, the beginning of the demise.
In the court documents, it was alleged that Denise accused Charlie of prescription medication abuse, violent mood swings, compulsive gambling, and the use of pornography. Charlie attempted to brush the claims off as baseless and vile. During a bitter custody dispute later that year, she claimed that he had physically and verbally abused and threatened to kill her. Denise felt like she had no choice but to get a restraining order against him. By 2006, Denise and Charlie continued with divorce proceedings, and the papers were signed. The couple was officially divorced.
It was very ugly in the press. They kind of reconciled. After that, there are voicemails where he's calling his daughter a little pig whore. That's what big-time actors did. The demise kind of starts right there. People notice, the network kind of got tired of dealing with him. And that's one of the things they would throw out is that he would, miss rehearsal. He would show up late for recordings. And Charlie was saying, no, I was always there. Who cares what I'm doing offset? He's married to now Brooke Mueller. The divorce is finalized with Denise Richards.
Charlie Sheen spent the better part of Christmas Day in a Colorado jail cell. Here's his mugshot. Authorities say the 44-year-old was arrested on domestic violence allegations after officers responded to a 911 call from a house he's believed to be staying at. An ambulance did go to the Aspen house, but the accuser was not taken to the hospital. Authorities are not identifying the person. Sheen is married. He married a real estate investor in May 2008. The couple have twin boys born in March. Sheen's lawyer has cautioned against any rush to judgment, saying he believes it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. No big deal. Don't worry about it. But he and Brooke started drinking real early Christmas morning, and it came to some sort of blows, apparently. So then we cut to season 8 of 2.5 Men. They're nominated for Emmys every year, and they're number one sitcom on CBS, so life is pretty good. Charlie was enjoying his life. Now we start to get into kind of his demise, right? So this is him talking about whether or not he is bipolar. Right?
Your anger and your hate, I think, is coming off as erratic to people.
Passion, my passion.
Okay, your passion is coming off as erratic to people.
Well, you borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it. Unplug this bastard. Yeah, because it fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular terrestrial realm.
I think some of those things that you're putting out there are making people think something's wrong with you.
That has nothing to do with me, really. I mean, they're entitled to, I suppose, interpret stuff as they must.
Some are,
doctor of?
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that you're on two ends of the spectrum.
Wow, and then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what? If I'm bipolar, aren't there moments where a guy like crashes and it's like in the corner, like, oh my God, it's all my mom's fault? Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
I've dealt with a few drug addicts in my day, and I love when they're giving examples. Like, wouldn't I be doing this? And it's like, oh, we're watching you do it, Charlie. Like, winning was a phrase that lasted long enough to become exhausting. And this was going viral when viral meant like literally everyone. So we're all kind of focused on the same stuff. So everyone is watching this Charlie Sheen meltdown. He was just on this bizarre, manic tirade. Chuck Lorre, who is a giant in the television world, but he knows how to make a sitcom that will appeal to people that are watching a sitcom at 8 p.m. on CBS. He sees some of this stuff with Charlie Sheen. So I remember thinking this way, where I was like, fuck the man, Charlie. Do what you want to do. If you're showing up when you need to be there, party on, Chuck. You're the man. And then I go back and I hear, how he was kind of treating the cast and crew, the domestic violence charges, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, that does seem like a headache. And then when you look at it, all they really did was say, hey, Charlie, we're putting the show on hiatus until you get yourself better. We are mandating that you go to rehab. And that was Charlie's big gripe, essentially. And so when you kind of look at it that way, you're like, what the fuck, dude? They're paying you over $1 million an episode, right? Just go to rehab. Now, in Charlie's eyes, he's like, hey, rehab doesn't work. Why would I keep going? I'm just going to do drugs when I get out, because we've got a few more classic clips from this era. Charlie Sheen was printing t-shirts every single day. This is the big one. Again, if you thought winning was bad.
When was the last time you used?
I use a blender, I use a vacuum cleaner, I use household items. When was the last time I ingested or took drugs?
Oh, well, I use vacuums. It's like, all right, Charlie.
He's just a junkie.
When was the last time I ingested or took drugs?
Yes, when was the last time you took drugs?
Such an AA stupid expression or term. I don't remember. I don't know. It was a couple days before the suits rolled in and said, change everything. We're shutting you down.
Tell me about the last time you took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive.
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me. Because I'm me. I'm different. I just have a different constitution. I have a different brain. I have a different heart. I have a different, I get tiger blood, man.
You don't worry that you're going to die when you take that many drugs?
Dying's for fools.
Yeah, tiger blood became kind of his catchphrase throughout this thing that he literally turned into a tour. This doesn't look like the guy that was in Platoon. You seem a little off. Yeah, he has a message for Chuck Lorre and the powers that be at CBS.
Rotting dog shit. The fermented puke that is your viscera. Can you smell the lies? Can you smell the carnage you've created? Can you smell the imposter living within? Can you smell the whimpering, scared child you'll never have the courage to embrace? Can you smell your mother's tears from some distant memory as she stared at her pathetic creation, asking all around her why this feeble abortion survived? Can you smell it, Chuck? It smells like malaria, in case you were wondering. If sad and stupid had a foul odor attached, it would be you, fuck Bori. You gotta hate that your stage name rhymes with suck. Personally, I find it perfect. You picked a fight with a warlock, you little worm. Remember this. After that first drink back. The drink you know you want. The drink you can't avoid any longer. How's it taste? How's it feel? Are you whole again? At peace? In love? You are no match for this warlock. My power will consume you every losing day, ugly whore. Let's do a scene, maggot. I speak first. Duh. Me. Are you an assailant? Fuck Bori. I'm a showrunner. Me. You're neither. You're an ugly clown sent by corporate fools to collect your fill. How's last night's 2.8 in the demo feel? Ouch. How about last night's 2.6 as well to follow it? Should have gone up. Instead it went down like you on some $4 trollop. Sizzle, losing, bye. You're all nothing shy of traitors. Your rational egos will be your downfall. Mark this warlock's words. Defeat is not an option.
That, by the way, is him talking about ratings, if you're wondering what numbers he's throwing out there. He was essentially like, hey, I'm going to battle 2.5 Men, and I'm going to go live on Ustream. The main thing is you see why actors act and writers write. Suck Bori is not a great dig. You can tell he didn't write a lot of his own stuff. He's trying to stick it to the man and take down the network that he believes wronged him. Because I remember people thinking like, boy, Charlie's on a real rampage. And then you look back, you're like, oh, he's just a maniac.
Didn't CBS have a right to shut your show down? They're reading about you partying at all hours of the night, taking drugs, abusing alcohol. It's their show.
Epic behavior.
Hold on a second. Hold on. He starts with epic instead of, oh, I didn't do any of that.
No, because after reading about that, then they observed the guy hitting every mark, nailing every line, every joke.
What's your strategy?
with a full house screaming.
Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre haven't spoken since the shutdown, but in our interview, Sheen wanted to address Chuck directly. If Chuck Lorre is watching right now, I imagine he probably is.
He should be.
What do you want to say to him?
Chuck, number one, why is it when I was ready to return to work, you told me there are no scripts ready to shoot? This obviously begs the second part of the question. What would we have shot had you not ordered the suits into my home to shut down my party?
I found a clip of Chuck Lorre talking to like Entertainment Tonight or something. Oh, he was genuinely trying to help this man. I think Chuck Lorre's hands are pretty clean in all of this. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, this is a story of executives trying to get their highest paid actor help for the complete spiral he's going down. Are we at the accusations of anti-Semitism now?
Yeah. Sheen denied to Good Morning America being an anti-Semite after mockingly referring to 2.5 Men's creator Chuck Lorre by his Hebrew name in this interview on the Alex Jones Show.
It's nothing this side of deplorable that a certain Chaim Levine, yeah, that's Chuck's real name, mistook this rock star for his own selfish exit strategy, bro.
In a text message to our Andrea Canning, Sheen, referring to his own birth name, wrote, "So you're telling me anytime someone calls me Carlos Estevez, I can claim they are anti-Latino?"
It's actually a pretty cogent point by Charlie. But that one didn't really stick because Charlie didn't really have anything you could cancel him from at this point. But you have to decide, like, where does my sympathy or empathy end? Where do I stop saying, oh, this is because of the drugs, and eventually just say, hey, fuck you? 2.5 Men moved on. They found Ashton Kutcher. Charlie Sheen had to figure out his next step.
Dog speed, my good soldiers. I gave you my word. This warlock bats 1,000%. You know by now my promises are golden. Hashtag fastball. I am bringing my violent torpedo of truth. Defeat is not an option show out to you in the battlefield. If you're winning, I'll see you there. Trolls need not apply. You all suffer from Sheenus envy. Buy your ticket, take the ride, and the ride will take you. Surge forward, Sheen's cadres. Ignition, liftoff. Bye.
And there's just a guy ranting about Sheenus envy and...
You know what? I got fired up to go. I'll tell you that much.
The Violent Torpedo of Truth tour set sail. This is Charlie with Simon Rex talking about some of their experiences.
They started throwing shit. They were throwing shit at me. That's why I started to exit stage left and insisted that you just you know.
I was your ripcord,
anybody but me. Please occupy this stage immediately.
It's just a shit show, and essentially what the show was, they would like bring Kurt Fox out to open the show. Then Charlie Sheen would do some inane ramblings for I don't know how long, really. They brought in Jeff Ross. I don't know how much stand-up he did, or maybe he kind of did with a thing with Charlie on stage. So yeah, he went on the Violent Torpedo of Truth tour, and that ended with one of the better roasts from Comedy Central. So yeah, then Charlie Sheen obviously closed out the roast. I remember this being like a celebration of Charlie Sheen.
I've already won.
And then he got AIDS and may have knowingly given it to some people and called his daughter a whore. But anyways, it's a question of how much sympathy you have for drug addicts and what sort of help they seek or the help they turn down, whatever. It's a complicated issue because then you hear a clip like this is our last clip, right? I didn't realize he had this epiphany. And there's a few interviews like this.
Yeah, I had no clue.
If I could do it again, if I could go back to that moment where I kind of forced their hand, I think I would have stayed.
Yeah?
I think I would have stayed. Yeah. Yeah, why not? How bad could it have been, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
it's hindsight.
When you're in something, you don't have the wherewithal to or the optics to really see, you know, what is right and what is real and what really matters, and just take yourself out of it and fucking relax and just shut the fuck up and go back to work. Yeah? There's that.
At the time, you were quite convincing in that it was the right decision for you to move. But looking back,
no, should have stayed. It's all right.
And he said he regrets it and he's embarrassed by all those like Tiger Blood and the shit people quoted for a while. He's like embarrassed by all of it. So it's interesting to hear him have this sober, literally and figuratively, the sober moment. It's interesting to hear him have this kind of epiphany. In my opinion, it's hard to judge. In some people's opinion, it's probably very easy. And you say, hey, he did this horrible shit. It doesn't matter if you're a drug addict, you know. A very interesting guy, and it was a very interesting public flameout. One of the most epic and, well...
You're winning.
And Tiger Blood. What's the Warlocks? All the catchphrases.
Ghouls.
That's what really got YouTube to catch on, was these kind of viral clips like that. So, like, you were literally watching it in real time. It was pretty wild.
I wish he didn't do the AIDS thing.
Well, hey, we all do, no? Lest ye be judged, folks. All right.